What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Jericho's NBA Daily Fantasy Breakdown. As always, thanks for tuning in. I like to dwell on the night before just a little bit on every one of my videos. And real quick, I'd like to give a shout out to Dwayne Casey, the coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, for being a fucking dumbass. Why the fuck did Damian Lillard not play in the fucking fourth quarter? Anybody? Anybody fucking know? I don't fucking know. The game got down to 15 with fucking 6 minutes left, and you don't put Damian Lillard in the fucking ball game? He's on a triple-double watch. He needs 2 fucking rebounds, and you can't put him in the fucking game? All these fucking kids taking Steph Curry. Oh, I'm going to take Steph Curry in a fucking 10-point spread. I picked Damian Lillard against the fucking Jazz because I know he's going to fucking eat him for lunch. And I don't get a fucking fourth quarter out of Damian Lillard with a 3.5-point spread? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, Dwayne Casey? You fucking cock-sucking piece of shit. I still fucking cash, though, so it's cool. But I didn't get triple-ups. I didn't get quintuple-ups. I didn't hit in GPPs. I lost some head-to-heads. All because Damian Lillard didn't play a fucking minute in the fourth quarter of a game with a 3.5-point fucking spread. All these people paid fucking $1,700 extra to get Steph Curry and his fucking trash ass with 8 fucking turnovers, hogging the fucking ball, not getting anyone else involved because he's a fucking piece of shit. Pass the fucking ball, dude. Klay Thompson, he's a pretty good fucking player too. You know, maybe he should put up more than 11 shots in a fucking game when you're shooting less than 50%, you sorry fuck. On to today's slate, we have 5 games. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go by game, but then I'm also going to go by position. I think it'll help you guys, write down, take notes. There's certain information that I don't give away on the videos. I try to keep that just to my subscribers. I won't let you know what that is, but obviously my lineups are part of it. You can subscribe for my lineups down below at NBADailyFantasyPicks.com. I am not a 12-year-old like those fucking kids from Fantasy Labs, and I actually know how to do a fucking breakdown. So let's dive right in. You've got Chicago at Philly, 7.5-point spread, 202.5 over under. There's a few really key injuries to talk about. Joakim Noah is going to start because Pau Gasol is out. Jimmy Butler is probable and Derrick Rose is questionable. Ideally, in a perfect world, I would like Derrick Rose to sit this one out. If Derrick Rose sits, it obviously makes Jimmy Butler one of the plays of the night. Without Pau, without Rose, you got Butler in their prime matchup. I mean, who the fuck's going to guard him? Ish, Stauskas, Jakar Sampson? Give me a fucking break. Nobody can guard Jimmy in that game. He will go absolutely fucking nuts. I don't care if he's 8,900. Start at the point guard position at this game. Ish Smith, one of my favorite plays of the night. I think last time versus Chicago last season, he scored 33 fantasy points, and he is a much better player this year. His price has crept up there to $6,600, but I still like the guy. He will probably be one of my point guards tonight. Derrick Rose, as I mentioned, is questionable. If he sits, Aaron Brooks gets a definite boost. The only thing that I'm worried about is Aaron Brooks has fucked me quite a bit in the past. And with Hoiberg, I don't think you can trust Aaron out there in cash, even if Derrick Rose sits. And that's pretty much it. McConnell's not a great play at 3,700. Let's move on to the shooting guard spot, where I had mentioned initially Jimmy Butler. Butler's probable if he plays / when he plays. As long as Derrick Rose is out, he's going to go for 50. If Derrick Rose is in, I could see him getting 35 to 40 instead, but I still like his chances to approach 50 fantasy points. Jimmy Butler, one of my favorite plays. I'm not going to play Stauskas on the other side of the ball. Nikola Mirotic has been playing really well. He should see a boost with Pau Gasol out. I am not opposed to him at all at 5,600. I think he's a great play. On the other side, Covington, Jakar Sampson, Hollis Thompson. I likely won't play any of those guys. I think you can put Covington in a tournament just to throw him in there because they may need his defense against Jimmy Butler this game. Power forward, there's a lot to like here. You've got Noel on the Philly side of the ball. I really like Noel. The only concern that I have is the fact that when Pau is out, the front court of the Bulls actually gets better defensively. So don't look at defense versus position and just think that the Bulls are going to give up a shit ton of points to front courts. Taj Gibson, Bobby Portis, and Joakim Noah are all really good defenders, and I think that they could definitely limit Noel. He's a little too risky for me, even though he's been playing well at 6,300. He's more of a tournament option. Taj Gibson is a great option in cash. I really like him. He's been seeing about 30 minutes a game. He should get a slight bump. I know his minutes have gone up and down a little bit since the return of Noah. But obviously, with Powell out, that's all going to be eliminated, and Taj should have a nice game at 4,700. Bobby Portis is a must-play at 3,500. You can't fade him. I don't care if he only gets 20 minutes. He's probably going to return value. And I don't think Hoiberg likes Noah very much. I don't think Noah's going to get the bulk of the minutes. I think Portis does. And I think Gibson receives more minutes as well. But Noah, I don't think he gets more than 20 to 25 minutes. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of my evaluation personally. At the center position, Jahlil Okafor, a lot of guys are going to play Okafor. And against Noah, I really don't like that play. I think Noah's a great defender. But Okafor is definitely worth consideration in cash and tournaments. I always bring up my opinions. This is what I think. I am not always right, but I am right a lot of the time. I was right about Damian Lillard yesterday. Just didn't get a fourth quarter out of him. And you saw his ownage percentage. It was very, very low, 10 to 15%. Had he played a fourth quarter, it would have paid off huge. Joakim Noah, as I mentioned, at 5,100, the guy is a nice play. Don't get me wrong. I just think with his recent minutes and production, his price should be around 4K. And at 4K, I would play him because I think he's going to return 6 times value and get 24 to 25 fantasy points. At 5,100, with the little bit of risk that's involved here, he's not a must-play for me. He's just a very nice option. And with all the other value out there tonight, with the likes of Harrison Barnes, Mario Chalmers, I don't think I'm going to risk it on Noah. But I think he could easily get value, and I'm not opposed to it. I just don't think you're going to see the 30 to 35 minutes like we would hope, and you're not going to see the 40 to 45 point upside that we typically would like in a Joakim Noah start. Let's move on to the next game, Cleveland at San Antonio. This is one of the few times you can actually break down a San Antonio game. You don't get to do it very often because they blow everybody out. But Cleveland, even on the road, should be able to keep this a contest. Let's start at the point guard position. Kyrie Irving at 7,700. I think that price tag's too high for him. I won't be playing him, but against Tony Parker, he's definitely worth a look in a tournament. Tony Parker, due to his recent production, has climbed up to 5,900. He's also a tournament option, but I really don't like him that much. His upside's limited. I know he had a big game the other day, but that is a very, very rare occurrence these days for Tony Parker. Let's move on to shooting guard. Manu Ginobili, I don't think I can trust him. J.R. Smith, I can't trust him against Danny Green defense. And Danny Green at 3,600 is worth a look, but he's very volatile. He's more of a tournament option for me. At the small forward position, Kawhi Leonard is a fine play at 7,700, even against LeBron. They're going to need him on the court for the bulk of the game due to his defense and the fact that it'll be a close game. He's very depressed at 7,700, so I think he's definitely a solid cash game option. LeBron James, I know projections, and a lot of people aren't going to like him tonight. However, against Kawhi Leonard, he averages 43 fantasy points a game. So you factor that in, we're talking FanDuel points, so probably even a little more due to the turnover differential on DraftKings. Not to mention the three-point bonus and all that fun shit. But LeBron and Kawhi are both solid cash game options tonight. I don't care how good each one of them are defensively. It doesn't matter. They're going to stuff the stat sheet. It's going to be a close game. And they're going to play a lot of minutes in what is primed to be a playoff atmosphere in San Antonio. LaMarcus Aldridge at 7,400. I never play this guy. I know he's been playing well as of late, but I will not touch him even against Kevin Love. However, he does make a fine tournament option, and he's a guy that you can definitely look at in that aspect. You can look at him in cash if you want. I just personally do not trust Aldridge and the Spurs against my cash game lineups. Kevin Love, not worth a look, really, at 7,400. You could get lucky and play him, and he could have a nice game. But he's not very consistent. He's very volatile, and he's just not a guy that I'm going to roster in cash. Tristan Thompson at 4,500. His minutes have seen a tiny dip lately, and I really don't like him against the front court of San Antonio, so I'm probably not going to play him. At the center position, this is a Tim Duncan kind of game. Tim Duncan could have a nice outing against the likes of Thompson and against the likes of Mozgov. So Tim Duncan, definitely a fine tournament option. I know he doesn't see a lot of minutes. I know he hasn't been producing much this year. But if you're looking for a tournament center and you have $6,300 left over, I think he is definitely worth a look. Let's move on to the next game. We have Detroit at Memphis. It's a 1.5 point spread and a 192.5 over-under. There's definitely some injuries to talk about here. It looks like Mike Conley is doubtful. Matt Barnes is going to play. I think he has a thumb or a finger issue. And those are pretty much the only two injuries that you have to worry about. That obviously gives a big boost to Mario Chalmers. Mario, Super Mario, Rio, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Reggie Jackson is a nice cash game option today. I really like him. It's just going to be hard to go against Chalmers and Ish, in my opinion. And for all of you guys that play Steph Curry, if you beat me tonight, I don't fucking know. I might blow my fucking brains out. There's no fucking way that Steph Curry reaches value against LA. There's just no fucking way. There's no way that game stays close. There's no way that they don't rest him with his leg or shin injury. If that happens and Steph Curry's fucking 40% owned again tonight, then, you know, fuck DFS if that shit happens. I'm not playing Steph Curry. Fuck that. I will not play Steph Curry tonight. Reggie Jackson, as I mentioned, nice option. Mario Chalmers is a great option at 5,200. He averages 0.6 of a fantasy point per minute over the length of his career, and that average holds true against Detroit. He's had decent success against Reggie Jackson in his career. I think that Mario is a nice option at 5,200. I could see him getting 30 fantasy points and returning 6 times value, which is really all you can ask for. At the shooting guard spot, KCP, Contavious Caldwell Pope. No thanks. Too inconsistent at 6K. You could try him in a tournament, but I wouldn't. Tony Allen's been looking great as of late, and Courtney Lee is definitely worth a look as well. I like Courtney Lee more than Tony Allen, but I like both guys, so if you have that much left over and you have to fill a cheap shooting guard position, I'm all for it. Courtney Lee is more of the tournament option. Tony Allen, I'd lean more towards in cash. Let's look at the small forward spot. Marcus Morris at 4,900. Even though he gets 34 minutes a game, the guy doesn't do shit. I won't play him in cash or tournament, really. Matt Barnes, I don't really like at 5K. I think that's too expensive. And Jeff Green got benched for the second half of the last game. Excuse me. So probably won't be going the Jeff Green route. Power forward, Zach Randolph burned everybody. I didn't play him because I'm not a fucking dumbass. I'm not going to play a bench guy that's that volatile in cash. No fucking thanks. You can have Zach Randolph. Good luck. Have at it against Marcus Morris. I won't fucking do it. Ilyasova, no. Tolliver, no. JaMychal Green, no. Center, Andre Drummond, historically in his career, has struggled mightily against Marc Gasol, so I will not be going the Andre Drummond route. I'd rather pay up and get Boogie Cousins, even though it is quite a hefty pay up, over $1,500, I believe. Marc Gasol is actually very good against Andre Drummond, but Marc Gasol's volatility is too much for cash. If you were looking for a tournament center, Marc Gasol is my favorite tournament pick of the night at that position. So look for Marc Gasol to possibly have a huge game, but way too volatile for me to risk in cash. Let's look at Sacramento at Utah. You have a 2.5 point spread and a 200 over-under. If you haven't noticed, Utah's over-unders have been a little bit higher lately. Obviously, Derek Favors being out plays a part in that. Sacramento obviously boosts an over-under no matter what, so you have to remember that as well. Rajon Rondo, I won't play in this matchup at 8K. I don't think he's going to do enough. Collison, the same thing. Nato, Burke. I mean, I guess you could look at Burke in a tournament if you really want to, but I am not going to go that route. Rodney Hood is a decent option at 5,300. I am okay with that play. He should have nice matchups all night against the likes of McLemore and Bellinelli. So, yeah, Rodney Hood is the only shooting guard option in this game. Small forward, Gordon Hayward has a very nice matchup tonight. I like him against Sacramento. I saw that Rudy Gay was on the trade block, so we need to keep an eye on that. I saw a possible, it was a straight-up trade. It was Rudy Gay for Ryan Anderson, I believe. So we need to make sure that he's not scratched before the game due to a trade. And if he is scratched, it gives a boost to Gordon Hayward. It gives a boost to Omri Caspi. It gives a boost to DeMarcus Cousins, etc., etc., etc. Even Costa Kufis. Power forward. Not much to like here. I mean, you can throw Booker or Lyles into a tournament, but that's pretty much it. At the center position, DeMarcus Cousins is a guy that I really like. He's historically good against Utah. He is historically good against Rudy Gobert, averaging about 44 fantasy points per game. Excuse me again. Fucking Chipotle giving me hiccups for some reason. I like Cousins tonight. He took 30 shots yesterday. 30 fucking shots. 30. He had a bad game and still broke 40 fantasy points. So I don't care. You guys have to stop focusing only on pace. If you focus on possessions per game and that's the only way you're picking your players, you're going to miss out. Last night, you missed out on Lillard because you said, oh, it's Utah. I'm not playing Lillard. There's a lot more to look at. Usage, for one, and DeMarcus Cousins' fucking usage is through the roof. Previous matchups, Utah can't handle Lillard. Utah can't handle Cousins. Gobert, as good of a defender as he is, he can't cover Cousins. He can't step out on the perimeter and guard Cousins. He can't keep up with him. Cousins is matchup proof. You can play DeMarcus Cousins against anybody in the league and feel good about it. I don't like his price being at 10-6, but when you look at the other top dollar guys like Curry and LeBron and all the value, you have to pay up somewhere, right? I like DeMarcus Cousins. I'm not opposed to him at all. Rudy Gobert, I think is worth a tournament throw-in. I don't love him in cash against Boogie. I think that foul trouble is a definite reality and possibility. As I mentioned, Costa Koufos, if Rudy Gay gets traded, and that is indeed true, and they scratch him, you need to take a long look at Koufos. I think he could have a nice game. Let's look at the final game of the night. It's LA at Golden State with a 17-point spread and a 216 over-under. This is where, if you're looking in tournaments, you look at guys that are blowout proof. You look at guys that are going to play no matter what in a blowout. There's definite injuries. Draymond Green's doubtful. I foresee him sitting. Brandon Bass is doubtful. He should sit. Kobe's questionable. I think he's going to sit. And Andrew Bogut's questionable. So if Bogut's out and we have that news, you have to play Festus Ezeli. Ezeli's a lock. I mean, you cannot fade Festus Ezeli against Roy Hibbert in LA. You can't do it if Bogut's indeed ruled out. So if that happens, I'll be making some tweaks to my preliminary lineup. Steph Curry, I talked about this. I'm not playing him. At $10,700, I'd rather spend on LeBron or Cousins in a close game. I'm not paying for Curry. I hope everybody pays for Curry. I really hope they do. I hope they did last night, and then Damian Lillard didn't get a fucking fourth quarter. Fucking Dwayne Casey, you fucking cocksucker. Jordan Clarkson, if Kobe's out, is a nice play. D'Angelo Russell is my #1 tournament option of the night, period. You have to play D'Angelo Russell in a tournament, especially if Kobe's out. Because this game's going to be a blowout, and it's going to be a blowout in a fucking hurry. And there's a high over-under and a lot of pace, even with the second unit of Golden State in the game. Klay Thompson is a very fine cash game play tonight. Last time out against LA, and I think, yeah, Curry and everybody played, but I think Curry sat out the second half or something. You could see that happening again, by the way, if this game gets out of hand. Klay's blowout proof. He really is. I mean, they'll play Klay. I've seen Klay play in fourth quarters up 30 points. And I don't just mean like the beginning of the fourth quarter. I mean when the fucking game is closing. So with Luke Walton's rotation, and I don't know why. I don't know if Klay talks him into it. I don't know what the fuck goes on there. But Klay Thompson plays in blowouts. So Klay Thompson is one of my favorite cash game options of the night. And I think if you pair him with Butler at the shooting guard position, you're going to be really happy. Lou Williams, if Kobe is out, is a nice option. However, he sucked a fat dick against Golden State last game, and I rostered him last time against Golden State. So I won't make that mistake again. I think Klay Thompson's just too good defensively for Lou Williams, if we're being honest. Kobe Bryant, if he plays, shouldn't play that much, and I probably won't go there. Let's move on to small forward. Harrison Barnes is a lock. A fucking lock. Guy's blowout proof. Guy's going to play 30 minutes. Guy's seeing a big uptick with Draymond Green out. And Harrison Barnes is a great option. And I like that play. That's pretty much it. I won't play Iguodala, I don't think. But Iguodala is definitely worth a look if you have that money left over and you need to go value at small forward. Excuse me again. Julius Randle in a tournament? Yeah, for sure. Larry Nance I like in cash. I don't really like him in a tournament. He doesn't have huge upside, really. As I mentioned at the center position, if Bogut's out, play Festus Ezeli. If Bogut is not out, then who knows? Don't play either one of them. but you could probably still get away with Azili at 4,300. I like that play. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I'm trying not to give away all my secrets to people that aren't subscribers. So there's a lot of stuff that I left out of this video. Some of my favorite locks that I just won't give away because I think that you should have to pay for that information. You can subscribe to my website. It's NBADailyFantasyPicks.com. It's very inexpensive, guys. 15 bucks a week. I mean, really? $15 a week, and you're getting 2 tournament lineups every day, an optimized, computer-optimized lineup based on my projections, and a cash game lineup. My cash game lineup. So my win percentage on FanDuel is still over 80%. We have won 3 straight going into tonight. Fingers crossed. Let's get another fucking W. Let me know what you think about the breakdown. If it's too long, if it's too short, if there's not enough emphasis on tournaments, daily plays, etc., etc. I've got some questions here that I'm going to answer from my subscribers. This one is from Danielle Connolly. If Butler and Rose don't play, which Bulls do you play? If Butler and Rose are out, you have to play Aaron Brooks because that's where the offense is going to come from. You have to play Bobby Portis. And if Butler and Rose don't play, I think you also have to play Nikola Mirotic. Those are the guys that benefit the most if both of those guys are out. But as I mentioned, Butler is probable, so I really like using Butler. I like using Gibson. I also like Mirotic, and I like Portis. And I'm a little skeptical on Noah, but I think he can get you value and have a really nice floor this evening. Next question is from Yeet at Road Runnus. Do you like Aaron Brooks tonight? And with Jimmy more than likely not playing, who do you think steps up? Again, Jimmy Butler is probable. So if Butler is indeed out, then I love Aaron Brooks. If Butler's in, even if Rose is out, I'm not a big Aaron Brooks fan because he has burned me the last couple times. Favorite cash game point guards, you don't have to look any further than Ish Smith and Mario Chalmers. I think Reggie Jackson is the third guy that I would look at, but I like Ish Smith and Mario Chalmers, and that question was from Chad Christian. This one's from Ethan, been a subscriber for a long time. Shout out to you, Ethan. I appreciate it, man. Center with the highest ceiling tonight. When you say highest ceiling, I think you're talking per dollar. So the guy that's the best value with the highest ceiling. And I think Marc Gasol, as I mentioned earlier, is the guy that I would go that route with. I think Gasol has 50, really even 60-point upside at times. We haven't seen it a lot this year, but he has it. And he really, really dominates Drummond. And with Conley out, he should have to pick up the slack offensively a little bit. So I really like Marc Gasol. It looks like that's all the questions that I've got. Be sure to send me any questions that you might have the rest of the day, and I'll definitely answer them. Let's hope that we get the Bogut and the Kobe news, because that is a big deal, so you can follow me for that. And as I mentioned, subscribe to NBADailyFantasyPicks.com. You can follow me on Twitter at InJericho's You can comment down below this video, and I'll get back to you that way. Let's keep it rolling, and as always, let's cash, bitches.